Hello, blessings, and hello, everybody. This is Silent Night 1214, and as promised, I will be doing my review of Hitman Absolution. I finished it a couple of weeks ago, and I really enjoyed it. To be honest, it was nice to finally get back into the Hitman world. I think Blood Money came out, back in 2006. So it's been 5 years, and to be honest, I thought Hitman was gone. I thought it was dead. I thought there were gonna be, no more games. And to my surprise, we get Blood Money. We get Absolution. It was published by Square Enix, which is an odd company. I mean, you know them more for Final Fantasy games. And they did do help with Deus Ex Human Revolution, and I was like, okay, Human Evolution, sorry. So I was intrigued. I was like, what can Square Enix do with Hitman that IO Entertainment hasn't been able to do on their own? And they really enhanced the series, I can say, whether it's from the story, which was actually really interesting. At different points. I mean, it was nice to have a story for Hitman. We usually don't. It's usually cutscene, you find out about this, cutscene, you know who to kill, cutscene, ending, boom, you get your score. But it was nice to have a story developing throughout the game. It was new for me, I will admit, but I did enjoy it. And one of the things that when I heard Square Enix was doing it, I was like, please keep the same voice actor, because it's just not the same. And they keep him. I was actually shocked. I was like, wow, I get to hear that same awesome voice, and I cannot remember the name of that voice actor. But he, once again, he does an amazing job. He plays the character. He makes you feel like this is who 47 was. This is who he was. And I was like, better than the movies, but anyway. And I enjoyed it. It was nice to hear his voice. Not only just the voice acting, but just the sounds in general. I mean, whether it was from the characters, the weapons, I mean, the things going on around you, the machinery, and all the different areas you were, those sounds of the wood creaking as you would walk across the floor. It was impressive. I enjoyed it. With this one, they did bring in a new mechanic, and it was called Instinct Mode, which basically it puts like this yellow aura, and you're able to see the trail that an enemy goes. You're able to see the enemies, how far they are, how far much vision they have, depending on the deepness of the yellow. The red is like your targets. And it was really fun. I enjoyed it. It was different, to say the least, because to be honest, it felt like Batman Arkham Asylum, and a lot of people were kind of jumping on that train, but I will say that this felt different. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel, and you don't have to have this option. It's up to you. You can even customize how you use the instinct. If you just show the paths, or you just show the enemies, or you just cut it off, which is good, because it's like, okay, I want to play this old school Hitman style, which I love, which is one of the things that I also loved about this game, was that it felt like the old Hitman games, difficulty wise. If you play it on normal, it was still somewhat of a challenge. You play it on hard, it was a challenge. Purist, all these different levels, it felt like the old school Hitman. It didn't feel like this, oh, we're trying to reinvent the wheel. No, y'all are just making the game. You were just, taking what IO Interactive has done, and you're increasing it. You're building upon it. And that's what a publisher is supposed to do with games. So I'm glad they did it. The missions are fun. There are some missions where you don't kill, essentially. You have a choice where you can kill, you can't. There are some missions where you have to get through like a bar and get to the bartender. but a lot of chaos is going on in the process. I mean, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was different not having to kill every mission. I mean, heck, there's one mission where it's just nostalgia. You see costumes from the old Hitman games and just a whole lot of different stuff. And I mean, it was fun. I enjoyed it. And along with the missions, the environments. I mean, some of the environments just look beautiful, from the lighting to the rain and the water effects. I mean, it's impressive. For it was nice to see. Hitman has always had their graphics pretty good, but this was this was a whole nother step, and it was great from beginning to end. I did enjoy the environments. They were just gorgeous. Now, there are a lot of good things about the game, but there are a few things that did kind of bother me. For one, you would get the occasional glitches, and when I say glitches, it would be to where if you're dragging a body, you can't. It's like he's not holding it. Some of the bodies, for some reason, if they're like in a closed space and they come out of that space, they start shaking and jittering. You know, a lot of the glitches were kind of comical. I mean, it was the physics engine, the physics engine, where you throw a body. Sometimes it would like be, you know, hanging off of a chair, or if they die as they enter mid speech, they like slide down and half their body's on the floor, half their body and the arm is jiggling, stuff like that. It's just comical. But the glitches, they weren't game breaking, but there were some parts where, you know, you would occasionally get stuck or you just could not move, and it really made some areas kind of a pain. Another thing, now it is difficult, but there are some missions, because basically you have achievements in this game. But the problem with the achievements is some of them are near impossible to do. Perfect example, suit only, and that stage is Dexter Industries. When I tell you there's one area, I think you're in like this mining shaft. I don't know what it is, but it was so difficult just to do suit only. I looked on forums, I looked everywhere trying to figure out how you did it. Most people did it on their second playthrough, and some of it was just pure luck. But once again, it's not really, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. I just feel like some stuff was near impossible, so it did make it difficult at times. But the last thing I will say, as far as what I didn't like about the game, I did feel, while I did enjoy the story, I felt like some of it was forced. Like some stuff, it was kind of cliched. Like, because basically the story is Diana's like daughter or clone, whatever she is. They really don't really fully explain it. All they say is that she was trained to assassinate. She was trained to kill, just like 47. She was built or constructed in the same lab. They really don't go into detail. You really don't know if that's her daughter, if that's just her project that's with her. I mean, you really don't know. And your job is to rescue her. But some of the obstacles is just like, some parts it was like, is the story necessary? You know, sometimes I felt like, was this cutscene really needed? It wasn't as strong of a story as I thought it would be. Was it a good story? Absolutely. But I did feel like it wasn't as strong as it could have been. It could have been better, but once again, that doesn't stop it from being a bad game. It doesn't, stop it from being a good game. Heck, it doesn't stop it at all. It's still a fun game to play. So, bottom line, and who probably would want to play this game and who wouldn't, if you've never played the Hitman games, then this probably isn't your cup of tea. I mean, if you've, ventured into them maybe once or twice, this might kind of handhold you back into the series to where you want to go play the older games. But other than that, it's really for people who enjoy the series as a whole. And I've enjoyed all the Hitman games. Were they difficult? Yes. Oh, Contracts and Silent Assassin. They were difficult, but they were still fun. It was, and it's unique. You're not the same. You're not stepping in the world of this hero, this villain, this you're in the middle of the road. You're an assassin. You do your contracts that are given you. And in this game, you kind of get to see Agent 47's human side. You get to see more of who he is. So it's a step out, but it's still, they're in the box, but they stepped out of the box a little bit. So if you're a fan of the series, you'll enjoy this game. If you're not, then maybe a rental. I would say it's a good rental. But if you're a fan, I definitely say buy this game. I mean, it is fun, fluid. It was enjoyable to a point where I would do everything in my power to gain all the achievements every time I start the stage, which you can't do. You have to replay some of the stages, but it was still fun. So bottom line, I will say this game is probably the best example of allowing another publisher to assist in rebuilding and bettering your franchise. Oh my gosh, my throat is ridiculous. In rebuilding your franchise, because not only do they help bring the series back strong, it also helps, it makes us want to know what's next. Now that Hitman is back, where is Square Enix going to take him? The environments you went in this game were great. Where is he going to go now? I'm still waiting on the day when he goes to a space shuttle and he assassinates somebody in space or something. But that's wishful thinking. But either way, I enjoyed the game. I highly recommend it. I'm not really a score person because I feel like you can pretty much tell if I like a game or not, and you'll enjoy it. So, to you guys, have a blessed day, have a blessed night, and see you guys soon. This is The Silent Knight. While I may not be an assassin, I do inform you about the things you care about. Take care.